Hi, I'm Rachel Chamness with Sound Waves Heal. Today I'll be bringing through a trance channeling Crystal Devas and Crystal Skulls and their connection to Lemuria in today's masterclass, which is for Transformation and Ascension Group Community for Lightworkers, our monthly group. Welcome to 5D Channels and Chats with Rachel Chamness. As a shamanic channel and mentor, I'll be sharing wisdom and healing from higher dimensions through channeling beings of light. You will also hear liquid Reiki shamanic sound healing, channels between intuitives, and discussion on higher dimensional healing and channeling. You'll find links and more in the show notes, so be sure to check them. You can find me at soundwavesheal.com and my Facebook group, 5D Daily Spiritual Healers in Higher Dimensions. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm really excited to bring through Crystal Devas and Crystal Skulls and their Lemuria connection. So when I first got that this was going to be this month, I brought through the Crystal Devas and they said also Crystal Skulls, which I thought was really interesting because, I don't know, I just never felt a really deep connection with Crystal Skulls. I mean, there's the ones from Atlantis, sure, but just in general, like collecting crystal skulls and things like that, never really appeals to me. But what I'm getting is that there's a collective. So this is the Crystal Skull Collective that's coming through. And then Crystal Devas, if you don't know, are small little fae that live inside some crystals. So those are coming through. And also they have this connection to Lemuria, which I don't know what it is yet. And I can't wait to find out. So we also have a Lemurian coming through. He calls himself Sans. That's what he says his name is. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say. So this is all about the 7th dimensional pathways, because in this tag, they're all coming through to help us with opening these 7th dimensional pathways and the connections to Lemuria. So these pathways will help us with our ascension journey and light path by opening our auric fields, our crystals, and our crystal grids to this high manifesting vibration. And so this is also about disconnecting from the negative and harmful 3D earth grids that are overlaid around our planet, and instead to connect to the power of the higher vibrational Gaia grid. So it's more than one grid that we'll be connecting to. I had this channeled message from the Devas. They said, we will show you how to up-level your crystals, grids, pathways, and personal field to the 7th dimensional manifestation highway used by Lemurians in their highest timeline. So they did show me a little bit about that. It looks so fascinating. So we're going to go ahead and bring them in and ask them all the questions. Of course, this part of TAG is just the masterclass, so it is the informational part where I bring through trance channel messages of those beings of the light who have stepped forward to answer our questions. The second part is the attunement, which attunes you with sound healing to the beings themselves and their concepts, which this month is all about the 7th dimensional highway of manifestation and things like that. And then we also have a meditation, which is always about healing and journeys to places, or something that we can learn about ourselves and our past lives and our work on this planet in this time, our light path, and also healing. And then there's always a manifestation tool as well. This month, it's a charm chant, which is just a little sung sound healing phrase that's going to help you bring in Lemurian manifestation energy. So we'll start with the Crystal Deva elementals, Joya, Nephim, and Solak. And we want to just ask them a little bit about themselves and let them tell us how it works. Like, are there crystal devas in every crystal, or how does it work? No, there are not crystal devas in every crystal, but only those that have a certain vibration. The vibration does not line up with where the crystal is from. That can often line up with the vibration of the crystal itself, which has to do with sacred geometry of the inside and the outside of the crystal. This has to be natural and cannot be cut into the crystal for us to live inside it. There are times when a jeweler will take a crystal or gem with a crystal deva inside of it and will cut the stone into something more beautiful. In these cases, we help the jeweler bring out the same or better geometrical pattern of the stone so that it will hold the correct vibration for what it is intended for. And these are used many times unconsciously by the wearer and sometimes consciously. We are so pleased when you know that we are there, and we love to help. Unlike other fae, we do not have egos, and we are happy to help you in every way. That does not mean that we do not have personalities, for we do. And of course, we are like other fae in that way. But you do not need to pay us homage or give us gifts to have us help you like some fae will. We are just happy to help. It is our greatest joy that we help through the crystal and help you in your work. That is really interesting because I thought for sure that they had egos. So that's really interesting information. I'm asking, do they have egos? And Sans, the Lemurian, is like, no, they don't. It's different. Okay. And they're saying some other elementals don't have egos either. They can have personalities, but they don't have egos. Okay. I think the word ego to us is pretty complicated and has many shades of what that actually means. So, for the most part, what they're saying, what it means is, unlike other fae, you don't have to leave a little gift. They will help you like angels will. That they're just happy to help. Okay, let's bring in Nephim. We also protect the crystal. It is another one of our jobs. We protect the crystal and we protect the being who is connected to the crystal. So in this plane of existence, the humans who love crystals and connect to crystals in many ways, whether as a light worker or just as a person who is drawn to a certain gem or crystal, we help them in many ways to build the life that they would love to have. This is a life that, of course, is of their greatest good and of harm to none. Okay, so I was kind of like, so you help them build anything that they want? That's what I was asking them. And he was saying, well, yeah, I mean, as long as it's highest good and it helps people. So that's what I call the light path, actually. If you hear me talking about that, that's like our soul's purpose in this world, on this earth, in this lifetime. But it's something that makes us very, very happy and also helps other people. So for instance, my light path is doing this, helping people become mediums or light workers or opening their clairs or learning to use psychic healing, like that kind of stuff, and like bringing information forward and clearing people, doing sessions, things like that. So that's my light path. And it makes me really happy. I love to do it and it helps other people and it's for the highest and greatest good, which is always my intention. So you have one like that too, I'm sure, and either you're working it already or you're working on working it, and there's no timeline, of course. And so that's what I call the light path. Anyway, let's bring in Solok and see what he has to say. By the way, I never even considered that they would be male, and Nephim and Solok are definitely male or androgynous, and they don't have a very like female feeling, but Joya does. Anyway, here's Solok. It's very important to know that the light is important for crystals and that we like to be cleared in the light, in the sunlight. And we don't need very much of it, but a very concentrated ray or direct sunlight can help us for just a moment, can help clear us and bring us energy. And so let your stones come out in the sunlight every so often. We will give you a nudge when it's time. That was interesting. Woo. Right when he was like leaving, my ears like did this funny thing and felt like, I heard different sounds. I sometimes hear all these like weird auric sounds as part of my clairaudience. They're dimensional shifts sometimes, and it must have been something like that. That was different. Okay, let's ask them about the 7D pathways. This will be Solak. Yes, so there were these manifestation pathways or highways that the Lemurians used. They connected to them with intuition or crystal grids, and they were higher in the atmosphere, and connecting to them helped them manifest quickly. This was something easily learned. This was a practice that was taught and learned and used by many Lemurians, and it was a way to manifest greatly. It also had a side to it which wasn't positive and contributed to the downfall of Lemuria. However, that side of this manifestation highway is now clear, and you are able to use it in the highest light and good for manifesting for yourself and others. And even though it is set up this way, we still would like you to always intend for the good of all when you are manifesting. It is a good practice, an intention, which is very important. Okay, so they kind of show me this pathway, and it's very interesting. I've seen others like this, and I was surprised that he said that they connected through grids, crystal grids. I've connected many, actually, crystal grids. I've connected the grids themselves to pathways like this that I've seen on this earth that were a little bit higher dimension. They weren't 3D at all. They were more like 5 or 6D. And I've connected to those before. So this is interesting. What they show me is it didn't have to be that way. They didn't need the crystal grid, but those who had trouble like seeing it or really feeling it quickly and easily, just reaching out and finding it, that they could use a crystal grid to help them do that. And they're kind of saying, here in this life, we could do the same thing. So if you can't like reach out and see that right now while thinking about it, then you could use a crystal grid to connect. But they also say, of course, they'll connect you to it in the attunement as well. So the attunement coming up will really help with that. So if you can't see it right now and you're in TAG, then don't worry about it because we'll get there. So that's really interesting. Okay. Let's see what the Lemurian Sands has to say, since we're already talking about the Lemurian connection. I'm going to ask him about the manifestation highway and the connection to crystal grids, crystal devas, and although we haven't talked about it yet, crystal skulls and the Lemuria connection. Okay. There's a great connection to Lemuria because we have sent our energy forward into the world that you are in now, this timeline and this time, by putting energy in many crystals that we had already, including crystal skulls, which, as you know, contain information, but they can also contain a portion of energy. So we placed energy in some crystals and crystal skulls and sent them forward. But we also sent our energy forward to crystals that were not formed yet and crystal skulls that were not carved yet, so that we could send our own energy into the future and into your timeline. Of course, to us, future doesn't mean the same as it does to you, for time is very fluid. He talks fast. Okay, so then I want to know how Lemurian energies can help us now. Like, why did they do it? Let's ask Sands. So we sent many for this timeline and this time in particular. For right now is the time where some Lemurian energy can help you quite a bit. This is all positive energy, and you need not worry that it was sent by anything negative. The collective that I'm speaking from, that I'm a representative of, is a collective of many Lemurian beings. We are not a hive mind like the Skull Collective, but we work together. You might call us like a club, perhaps, is a mild word that I can find here that would explain what we are. We work together. So we are mages. We are what you might think of as a magician, which is an archetype which we we sort of connect to. Of course, it's not really magic. It's just metaphysical or misunderstood energies, which people don't understand at the time. But that's fine. We can use that word. And so we came together and brought this energy forward so that you could use it at this time. For there's a lot of changes here happening in this time, and there's a lot of releasing of old stagnant energies and archetypes that need to be released. And so you can use this energy for that, for moving forward on your own path, but also for manifesting, so that you can manifest what is the greatest and highest good for you, for your family, for your life, and for your clients, or for whoever you want to help with, by connecting with this highway. And it's sort of a fast track manifestation. And as you use it, you're going to see how things manifest so quickly, and you will really become obvious that it's true and real, and not something that you are making up. This is Rachel. I was saying, yeah, well, often we believe, we're not sure if things are really happening or if we're just making it up. So that's what he was talking about. Sometimes I'm talking to them in here. Okay, let's ask him, and then we'll go back to some of these questions with some of the Fae. How do crystal skulls help us in this specific time, and why? So the crystal skulls are slightly different than crystals with crystal devas or crystals in general. The crystal skulls are carved in this way to hold information like a brain. Obviously, this is the connection. So we use them to hold energy, and the shape of them help hold more energy or more information. And so they're very useful. There is a collective of crystal skulls which can speak for them, and that is because once you bring something into being, well, you bring something into being. How's it going to help you now? Is that if you are drawn to a specific crystal skull, then it has energy that you may have placed in another lifetime or in another incarnation, or one of your guides has placed for you to find, that can carry energy into your life now. How do you receive the energy? You may clear the crystal when you get it, for you should clear anything that you do get, always, of any other interference. It won't clear out the original intent or information that was programmed into it for you. And you can hold it and meditate with it, or you can leave it out close by where you do a lot of work and touch it often. You can communicate with it. There are many ways that you can get that information. You can ask it to send it to you in your sleep over a period of time, so that it's not too much information at once. And there are many ways all of these work. Okay. Well, that makes sense to me. All right. Thank you, Sands. Wow, that was a lot, huh? Let's go back to the Crystal Devas. Let's ask some of them how the Lemurian energies can help us now. Nephim wants to talk, so we're just going to keep asking these questions for different beings and see what information we get, I guess. Well, it's very interesting because the place that you are now is the closest energy that you have had so far on this planet, as far as the informational life that humans have had since Atlantis. This is the closest energy that you've gotten to that matches the energy in Lemuria. So it's kind of an overlap of energy signatures that are getting closer. This is as close as you have been. So now the energy from Lemuria can help. We want to help you with any kinds of crystal grids you would like to make, for any intention that you are making. If you know how to make crystal grids, it's very easy to learn. If you don't know, and we can help you use this grid, connect it to the manifestation highway, help you bring this seventh dimensional light and energy in. So you would be connected to the highway in more than one way. After the attunement, you can use a grid to connect to the highway, especially if you're not in TAG and you're not doing the attunement. And you can ask for this 7th dimensional light to come in. And this 7th dimensional light is something that needs to be brought into this time to help clear out old energies and help you come to a little bit higher vibration that will match more with Lemuria and Lemuria's time, but it won't stay in this vibration for a long time. This is a small period of time where we can connect to the Lemurian vibration and use the help that they sent forward to help us then go on to a higher and different vibration, for this is a different time, and it will be a much more successful ascension of the planet as well. Okay, let me just break that down to what they showed me in case you just were like, huh? Okay, so, all right, so you have Lemuria here, which, you know, had some good things and some bad things, just like Atlantis. So they're saying that the mages sent this energy forward. They were all like good, you know, they were all good guys of the light. They didn't have anything to do with any downfall of Lemuria. They sent that forward and to help us in this time, because at this time, these are the energies from now for the next 2.5 years. They're telling me right now that we'll be connected with Lemuria and the energies will be very similar. We can use, so we will be able to use that energy to go higher and bring our vibration higher. One of the energies that they're sending is the 7th dimensional light, the 7th dimensional manifestation highway, the pathways, and there's more, there may be more than one. And more tools that they're bringing forward that we can help is getting information from crystal skulls that we're drawn to. Also, the Crystal Devas can help us connect to all these things with crystal grids if we don't feel like our clairs are open enough, or we just want that extra boost. Okay, there's your sum up. Okay, so Reiki grids or crystal grids, there's many ways you can learn about them. I teach about them in Reiki. You can look them up on the internet. So there's just a million ways you can learn to do them, and you can intuitively do them as well. And so that can be a great help to you. Let's talk to the Crystal Skull Collective. I want to know about this highway, how it was used in the Lemurians' highest timeline. Like, what does that mean? Because lately I've been noticing that some things that I read or learn about Lemuria and Atlantis are different than some of the times that I've seen Atlantis and Lemuria. And I was told by Spirit that's because there are so many incarnations and there are many different versions or timelines of Lemuria and Atlantis. So if you hear something about Lemuria, you read something and you're like, wow, this is totally different than what I saw, but it also feels true. That is why. So I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit. And I'm going to bring the Crystal Skull Collective forward because they're telling me they hold so much information from all the timelines. That's what they're telling me now. Oh, this is cool. Okay, I'll let them in. Oh, this is exciting. That's not what I thought would happen. I love that. Okay. Yes, there were many timelines. There were 5 different Lemurian timelines. There was one of the highest light. The highest timeline of Lemuria was a very beautiful and mostly untouched by lower vibrational emotions like greed, and it was well formed, and it dissipated only when its time was time to leave, and there was no devastation, there was no bad ending to the time period, and there were 4 that did end badly. As for Atlantis, there are less timelines. There are 2. There are 2 different Atlantean timelines. Okay, technically there are 3. There is a 3rd timeline, which is considered an Atlantis time, which is connected to Atlantis and could be considered the 3rd timeline of Atlantis. So we can say 3. Okay, it's Rachel. That's annoying to me. Is it 2 or is it 3? Okay, so what they showed me 2, where Atlantis is like in 2 places. Like one is island and one is like more like a peninsula. And then they showed me this whole other thing that has to do with Egypt. Okay, but I already know that Atlantis, like a lot of Atlantis beings then went to Egypt, but there's another one that has deeper roots in Egypt and is not quite Atlantis. But for the sake of this argument, for Earth beings at this time, he can say yes, that one too. So now he's saying 3 timelines. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, I don't make this stuff up. I would just be like, be clearer. But okay. Here's a question. They said that the crystal skulls help us in this specific time and why. Now, I know that Sans already said a few things, which I have already forgotten what they were because as a trance channel, it just goes whoosh. So I'll have to listen later. So, but let's ask the crystal skulls. Okay, the collective. In order to access the information in the crystal skulls, you have to be at a certain vibration. Now, this is a very vague word for what I'm trying to say. Your vibratory signature has to be a certain way. So there's more than one way that your signature can be high. You have talked a lot about 5th dimensional energies and being 5D and raising your vibration to the 5th dimension. And that is one way, but there is also other ways. So it's not just a blanket line or horizontal line of energy. There's also other parts of this energy, as if like a Star of David becomes Merkaba, like that kind of popping out of other energies that you don't see. And then those part of it have to be a certain way to be connected to these skulls. So, and that time is here, and that's what's connected to Lemuria. Therefore, you are now able to get more information from your crystal skull. So if you've had one a long time and you've been getting information from it, then you can get more now, deeper information, more information. So this is the best time to be collecting information from skulls that have information in them. And yes, even skulls that were made in this timeline and recently can have a lot of information in them because it was sent forward from Lemuria, and it's also information put in by other light beings, ETs. There is no worry that you have dark information in your crystal skulls as long as you clear them and pick ones that you're connected to, that you pick the skull yourself. I'm like, yeah, please tell us about this. Okay, so what he's showing me is, don't worry about that. You're not, that doesn't have to be in your reality. The information in skulls is pretty protected. There's some sort of geometrical, like sacred geometry with the skulls, which to me doesn't make sense because the crystal skull can be all different ways to be carved, but they're saying it's not exactly a shape of the skull itself, but kind of it's around it spiritually, like clairvoyantly or whatever. It's like there and it's around it. And so they're showing me that. So there is like this kind of sacred geometry that encases all crystal skulls. Then it will have that geometry and it will be all really good information to have. So I don't know why they keep talking about stuff like this, that if maybe the audience today has a little worry about dark coming in and tricking us. I mean, I know that does happen, and there's been a lot of clearing for that lately. I think that dark magic stuff is really like, it's coming up a lot, and we're really releasing that right now. So I guess it's kind of in the thought process of people kind of worrying about dark magic or dark things trying to get in. So he's trying to tell you not to worry about that. You can tell the difference between dark and light. You can feel the difference. Is very rare instance that you would have gotten a skull that doesn't have of the highest light, because there is the sacred geometry that protects them. And he's telling me now that's almost non-existent, a crystal skull with like, dark magic stuff in it. So he's saying not to worry about it. Okay. All right. Well, that's what they're telling me. So Let's see what else. Is there any other information that we can get here? Let's ask them about the 3D earth grids. So they say there are harmful 3D earth grids that we are connected to, that we are releasing, and that we can replace them with these higher dimensional grids and manifestation pathways and things like that. So I've seen this actually here in Tennessee. There is a poverty grid in the Appalachians that I've been trying to clear people from, get them disconnected. And there's also there was a negative, I don't know if it was a poverty grid, but it might have been because it was abundance work in my neighborhood as well that I cleared. And that was really interesting because I live in Fountain City in Knoxville. So there's kind of like this, there's all these like geysers underneath here. And there's a lot of water beings that were like, we're so excited you're here. We really wanted to connect. They had been waiting for me to connect it all. So you can do your own work if you're a light worker, especially in your neighborhood, in your town, like disconnecting from any like negative old 3D grids and connecting to higher manifestation grids, or just higher vibration grids for yourself, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your town, or the earth. Like you can do a lot of that. And I kind of think that that's what they are bringing forth here with all of this energy. So let's ask one of the Crystal Devas. Let's ask Joya. Yes, there are many, many grids in many places, and they are becoming loose. They are becoming less powerful, and it is time now to disconnect from them and connect to something of higher vibration, of more power that will help you more. And it's very easy if you have your senses open, your clairs open, to reach out and find these and disconnect yourself from them and connect yourself to Gaia's 5th dimensional or higher, her new earth grid. Connect to these higher grids, the 7th dimensional grid, bringing in from Lemuria. There's some 6th dimensional grids you can attune to or connect to, and then there are other grids that you may personally have from your starseed helpers, your ET helpers also as well, and you can connect to them. And if you have crystals, you can ask the crystals to help you, especially if they contain us, the Crystal Devas. We love to help, and we can lend our help in many ways through the crystals, not just for this work, but any other work that you use crystals for. We are often helping with bringing that energy through for you, such as sessions, as this one uses us for, or any other help that you may be using with crystals nearby, either consciously or unconsciously. Aha. Okay, yes, I do use crystals in my distance Reiki work, and they do lend their help, and I most of the time just think of it as the help of the crystal itself. Like this crystal, like this is rose quartz, and it's really good for self-love and things like that. However, if there's a crystal diva in there, and it's a crystal diva that's helping. So I don't often like look too deeply to see if there are divas in my crystals, and I think I'm going to from now on. Okay, I just feel like we should ask Sans if there's anything else he wants to tell us. The work you're doing is very important. We are so glad to see you doing it. We can see that these timelines and Earth are becoming fewer and fewer as they come together to join to the ascension timeline. And we see that it's going to be so much better than anything that we had in Lemuria and also Atlantis, where some of us were as well, not all of us. And so it's very important work that you do to be bringing this vibration higher on the earth and in your bodies and in your clients' bodies if you work on clients as well. So we're so happy about that, and we're ready and willing to give a hand now, especially during this time where it is the best time for us to come forward and help. And so we ask that you do, and we thank you so much, and know that this manifestation can help you in pretty much every way of your life, for everything that you are doing here is trying to manifest something better for yourself, for your light path, or for your own peace and serenity by doing shadow work or releasing things, trying to be better. All these qualities of a light worker are all manifestation in some way or form. So you can see that faster manifestation really makes a big difference in your life. And so hooking up to all these different energies that are flowing faster and better and for the highest good is only going to help you manifest more in your life and help you get farther help more people and bring the earth closer to its transformation sooner. And we're so happy to help you with this in this time period. So remember they said that this Lemurian period where we're like where our vibrations are similar, where they can help us the most is the next 2.5 years. And it sounds like it has just started. So they're saying it started in the middle of March, and this is 2022 and this is being recorded. Doesn't matter when you listen to it, but really cool. So I hope this helped you. If you have questions, because I can't think of anything else to ask them, you can put them in the comments below, and I will ask and get some answers for you. So this is the 7th Dimensional Pathways Masterclass of Crystal Devas and Crystal Skulls. Thanks for coming. TAG is a transformation and ascension group. It's for light workers. And of course, TAG light workers also contains the beginners portion as well. So glad to have you. And if you had any questions, I can't wait to hear them. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to TAG the rest of this month, the attunement, the meditation, and the charm chant for manifesting. So thank you so much and have a great day. Thank you for listening today. Please follow this podcast, like, subscribe if you haven't already. We would love to have you in our Facebook group 5D Daily. And be sure to sign up for my free Channeling Spirit Guides program, which you can find under resources at soundwavesheal.com. I am Rachel Chamness, and it's my pleasure to help light workers expand their channeling to heal in higher dimensions.